On today's episode, we have Kelly. She is going to talk about teacher burnout. It is definitely a thing that many of us are feeling, so let's jump into it. All right, I am here with Kelly. We are going to learn more about her and her awesome experiences and what she provides to the school. She is about to enter year 10, so we're going to learn a little bit about that, and we're also going to talk about burnout. It's a thing that I've been hearing a lot about, especially in social media world, so we're going to dive into that. Kelly, thanks for joining me.
Thanks for having me.
Hey, to whoever may need this nugget of encouragement, things will be alright, so quit your worry. I get it, the odds can stack back against the wall, but even consider it such, no, you'll stand tall. Sit and watch from the sidelines, one too many times, we get games to play, make me want to lose my mind.
Sadly, I've definitely seen a decline in parent involvement, which ultimately affects the performance you're going to see from the children.
Sounds right.
It's Friday.
It is Friday. Can you briefly describe your school experience growing up?
Sure. So I am the youngest of 6 in a big family. And my siblings all attended the same school that I did, but my siblings are all much older than me. My oldest sister is 18 years older than me, and the closest in age is 8 years. So I definitely was like living in shadows, going to school with teachers that had my siblings.
How did that feel?
Not always great.
Yeah.
Because it's tough.
You're not your sibling.
No.
So
Nope. And there was good
Yeah.
and bad. Like, all of my family is very athletic, and I was too, but I didn't have that same passion when I was younger. So I don't know if I was I loved athletics as much as I just had no choice.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
I didn't have a terrible school experience, but I was definitely, like I said, youngest of 6, and my parents, it's pretty much on my own.
Yeah. Did you have any other teachers or any teachers that were like, oh, here's another one?
Yes, many.
And then you felt like you were being judged from the first day of school?
Yep. I can remember, my earliest memory of that is in 2nd grade.
Wow, 2nd grade.
Yep. I can remember that and feeling like, oh man, this is not going to be good. Like, I already felt like I was off to a bad start.
Yeah. Wow.
And not because my siblings were bad or anything. It was just that I felt like I had to be one way or the other.
Yeah, you were getting pigeonholed already. And,
Yep.
Little cute 2nd grader.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
That's crazy. So how do you develop meaningful relationships when you do work with your students?
So I try to connect, as soon as I meet them. I try and find some common ground one way or the other, whatever it is. Working in kindergarten, it's kind of easy because, we can say favorite colors, anything like that. I want the kids to know they can trust me, even when they're having a bad day. It's okay to be upset, and I often tell them that I care about them, and it's okay. We're going to get through it.
Right. We can do it together.
Yep.
We're a team.
Yep.
That's awesome. Why did you decide to go into the career?
My own children. I never thought I would be in education. I actually was in the dental field for a very long time, and that was what I thought I would do forever.
Made more money, right?
For sure made
Yeah.
more money, for sure. And then I was lucky enough to be a stay-at-home mom, so I was with my kids, but then my kids left and had to go to school, so I followed them here. And I 10 years later, I didn't think I would still be here, but I'm here.
Well,
So,
thank you.
yeah.
I'm glad you're here.
Yeah.
The last 3 that I've been working, in the same building with you, it's been great. So
Yeah.
let's talk about some changes that you've seen over your 10 years with parents and other family dynamics that you've seen, and we can even go into like administration or curriculum changes, student behavior. What have you seen in the last 10 years?
Sadly, I've definitely seen a decline in parent involvement, which ultimately affects the performance you're going to see from the children. Even at a young age of kindergarten, they feel that. If their parents aren't involved, they feel it. Even something small as my mom forgot to pack my lunch, my mom forgot to send my folder back. They feel that type of stuff. And, that kind of stuff happens accidentally. I certainly forget things myself.
Right.
But
when the patterns start developing, it's kind of...
it's hard. You feel bad for the kids because you just feel sad for them because they don't want to, feel that way. And
right.
Sometimes parents just are absent. They just aren't there. And I definitely feel like in the last 5 years, that's gotten worse. Initially when I started, it was, a couple kids here and there whose parents were just for whatever reason. They were working or whatever. Now it seems to be a little bit more regular.
That's really sad.
Yeah, it is. It's very heartbreaking.
Yeah.
And the needs of the kids are certainly not getting any less.
Right. Yeah, they definitely seem like they're struggling with social skills,
Yeah, the social piece is hard.
Yeah.
It's hard.
I've noticed a decline in all of this before COVID.
Mm-hmm.
I know a lot of people are quick to say, oh, it was COVID,
No, I think it was coming before COVID, too.
I think COVID kind of accelerated it.
Yeah.
Made that movement go a little faster.
Made it easier.
Right.
For,
yeah.
You know what I mean?
For it to happen. Yeah.
And of course, maybe, as I'm getting older, I'm just noticing it more. Maybe it wasn't always maybe it was always that way,
right.
and I just
right.
didn't pay enough attention. I don't know. But
yeah.
It's, and being a parent in the community, it's, definitely see where I want my kids to be hanging out. It's easy to figure that out soon.
Yeah, that's interesting. Let's dive into that a little bit.
So I'm not from here.
Yeah.
So I grew up in New Jersey, so I don't have any ties to the community. I moved here with nothing.
Okay.
So it also, I did get involved with the school as far as, PTO and stuff like that, because I felt like I had to. I didn't know anybody here. My kids didn't know anybody, and really moved to New York kicking and screaming. I was excited because we were in Florida. I was excited to be closer back home to New Jersey, but I was a nervous wreck. I made my husband call this school before he moved here because there was no fence around the playground at the time.
Really?
So I was positive that my kids were going to get kidnapped.
Yeah.
I was positive. And my husband, Teresa, still remembers getting that phone call, what's your policy? So, yeah. So I tried to get involved early so I could, see what the community was all about. And, I think I've gotten better as they've gotten older, but I was definitely overprotective and scared for them. But they have been able to make really great friendships, and they're doing good in school. I really like the small town community for them. It's for the same reasons that I was nervous. It's kind of it's nice that I'm able to know. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's
a lot of
easy to find things out in a small place.
Yeah.
Yep.
My mom, it's a really funny story. In the family, we joke about it now, but my mom always seemed to figure things out.
Mm-hmm.
And she's going to put in her will one of her resources that
Oh,
she used when,
that is great.
you know, so,
That
and
is
I'm pretty
great.
sure I know who it is. And there's one story I'm like, I gotta know who it is.
You have to know.
I want to know if I'm right or not.
That's
who it was.
funny.
So,
I always
Yep.
tell my kids too, like, I have eyes everywhere
Yeah.
now. I just know enough people
Mhm.
that from working in the district now, like, you're not getting away with it.
yep.
Good luck.
So, yeah, I wasn't supposed to be doing something, and
Yep.
somebody ratted me out to my mom. And
Oh man. See, that
in trouble.
also
So,
that happened to me a lot too.
Yeah.
In school, because my siblings, some of them were friends with the teachers. Like my sister-in-law's, 2 of her sisters were teachers in the school.
right, yeah.
So I had eyes everywhere too.
Right.
They were definitely
Couldn't
ratting
really
me
get
out.
away with much.
No.
You know?
Nope.
All right. So let's jump into burnout. What have you seen the last 10 years? What do you think is causing this burnout? We're all kind of feeling it. Many people are actually leaving the profession.
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely feel it. I feel like there are some days where it's just hard. Like, you don't necessarily know who you can trust and who's on your side.
Mm.
In regards to, you know, just personally in the workplace and professionally, like, it's hard to know who you can trust. And working with children is tough. Like, it's delicate.
Yeah.
So you need a good support system, and I think a lot of times you feel like that's just not there. Negativity is so contagious. It really is like a noose,
Yeah.
and it gets tight.
Yeah, I know you do a really good job trying to stay positive and spread cheer around the building, you know, as much as you can. And
I try.
it's hard.
It's
hard to do it.
It's
Sometimes
hard.
I'm not feeling it, and you know, I kind of like fake a smile and
Yeah. Yep.
you know, fake it till I make it.
Yeah. I mean,
You have to.
You kind of have to when you're
Yeah.
with kids, because they
Right.
see through it.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
So they know if you're not having a good day, that
Mhm.
that's, you know, for some kids, they see that as an opportunity.
Right, to push your buttons
Yep.
even more than they thought they were going to that
Yep.
day when they woke up.
Yep.
They're like,
Right. Oh, look. Weak
Yeah.
moment. Gotcha.
yep.
It's tough.
It's tough.
And I do think there's just been a lot of change in school in general, not just ours, but I think in education there's been like just a change. Not for the better, I guess, right now.
Right.
It's scary because I think we need good teachers. We need people who really want to be here, people who care, people who want to make a positive difference.
Right.
You know, teaching isn't all about getting the summers off.
No,
It's really not
I
what
hate
it's
it
about.
when people say that.
Yep.
I really do.
It's
I joke around like
Right.
school breaks and summers are so we don't kill the kids.
it's true though. Like, I
You
mean,
know, like,
not, you know,
Not
actually,
that drastically, but
yes.
yeah, like,
Like, it's,
we need a break from them.
and sometimes like a week is not
And we
enough.
need to recharge. Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Um,
And you
It
know,
can be mentally draining,
yeah. And when you
physically draining.
know more, like, it makes it more challenging. Like, ignorance truly is bliss, because
Right.
you can just kind of skirt through life if you don't know stuff. But then when you know it, it's like, oh, you have to do something with it.
Right.
And working with children, like, you don't get to go home and just stop thinking about these
No,
kids.
yeah.
You're thinking about them all the time.
Right. I wake up at 3 a.m. and
Right.
I have
Yep.
10 different kids on my mind. I'm like, all right, shoot,
Yeah.
I got to do that with them tomorrow.
Yep.
Or like, I hope they're feeling okay. They seemed like they were getting sick.
Yes.
Yesterday.
And then you start like, wait, am I getting sick?
Yeah.
I'm gonna get sick.
Right. I can't take another day off.
Right.
Like, that'll set me behind
Well, and that's it too. Like,
on the work.
not being here, you pay a price. Like, it's hard to be away from my students and then coming back in. And there are plenty of wonderful people who are able to sub for us. That, you know, it's great, but it's not the same.
Right.
So you
Well, I
come-
wouldn't say plenty, but
Well, you know what
yeah.
I mean.
Yeah,
There's-
right.
The
That's-
people who do
Right. Yes.
are good, but
are good. Yeah.
it's it's a lot of like reprogramming when you get back.
Right.
Because the kids are like, oh, you haven't been here for 2 days? Oh, you had the flu?
It's a couple steps back. It really
It's
is.
many steps
Yeah.
back.
Right.
Especially with, like our higher risk kids. And yeah, it's tough. And kindergarten, they are stealthy.
They are. They're crafty.
Yeah.
Crafty little guys.
They really are. And
Yeah.
they try and work the system more than
With
anybody else.
With their cuteness.
With their super
Yep.
cuteness. Yep.
Exactly. Yep.
Yep.
So, how much do you think money has to do with the burnout?
Sadly, probably a lot.
Right.
Because the people who really are in it for the right reasons also know their worth.
Right.
And if districts don't want to pay them properly, but other districts will, or other professions with that you could use your degree,
Right.
They might go.
They might. I've had similar thoughts to that too. Like, I work so hard. I stay, 4 or 5 o'clock sometimes. Come in early, do work at home after dinner, whatever. And I'm like, next year I think I'm actually gonna do it. I'm gonna calculate all the outside of work hours that I work in the year, and then I will divide that and see what my hourly pay is.
Right.
I'm really curious.
Yeah.
Because
it'll probably be a little disappointing, I feel
It
like.
probably
Like,
will
it's probably
be.
going to break your heart a little.
It probably will, but I think maybe more people need to do that.
I
and
know. Because you don't, like,
people think we just leave at 2 o'clock
Yep.
and then
we go home, we hang
show
out,
up
it's great.
2 minutes before the kids come back
Yeah.
to school in the morning.
Nope.
There's so much more to it.
So much more. And it's not like, yeah. And
Yeah.
you taking a day off, even having a week off. Like, I'm excited for spring break, don't get me wrong. I'm looking forward to it. But next week's going to be challenging because the kids are going to be bonkers.
Yep.
And when we get back, the kids are going to be bonkers. It's going to be a good 3 weeks before
Right.
we're able to settle in, and then they're going to be coasting to summer. So
Yeah.
it's this time of year is extremely challenging, and I've
Yeah.
always said, like, before breaks are probably the hardest for me.
Yeah, definitely.
Tuesdays and before breaks. I'm not sure why
Right.
Tuesdays, but
Yeah.
They're
Well,
horrible.
Mondays they're kind of like still sleepy
Yeah.
from the weekend.
yep,
And then Tuesdays they have their
They bring-
energy
they
back.
bring their A game.
Yeah.
Tuesdays are always challenging. I don't know.
Yeah.
Always. Yep.
Mhm.
I don't like Tuesday.
And full moons.
Full moons. Yep.
Yep.
The time change.
Yep.
I mean, it's really anything.
Yeah.
Anything. It's tough.
Anything can throw them off pretty quickly. So.
And then,
But-
we're only human.
Right.
So, and then I feel like, there's a lot more expectations for us as teachers. I think, parents want more from us.
Definitely.
Yeah. Administration wants more from us.
Mhm.
I think it's tough.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like all these people have all these great ideas, but they don't understand how much work that actually is.
Right.
And it's not realistic
Mm-mm.
to even get done.
And sometimes when you have, like I said, with parents expecting you to do more than you're capable of doing, like, you might have all the greatest intentions and think, like, yes, I can do all of these things for this student, and I can make a difference, but that difference is only going to last until they walk out the door. If those things are not reinforced at home,
Yeah, definitely.
you're setting us up to fail too.
Mm-hmm.
So you're not only,
Yeah.
setting your child up, but you're setting us
Right.
up too, which
Yeah.
causes more burnout.
It does.
Mm-hmm.
Right, because it makes our day harder, because you're just not following through.
Right.
So if you listen to this, please follow through.
Yes. Set boundaries.
Get on the
it's
same
okay to tell your
page.
kids no.
Yeah, get on the same page with their teachers. And
Yes.
yeah, no is not a bad word.
It's not.
like,
It's not.
People
They
are
need it.
kind of too soft now and like, oh, you can't say no.
Right. You hurt my feelings.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
it's okay.
You'll be fine.
Yep. You need boundaries. It's all right.
Yeah.
You do better. Promise.
All right, so I got to ask you about this apple. Do you like this little apple that I have?
I have to be honest, though.
Please.
The leaf.
Full honesty. I
The
love
leaf.
it.
It just reminded me like of a turkey.
Yeah, it
Right?
does. And why is the leaf red?
Why is the leaf red? Why is the stem red?
Yeah, leaf and
Is it
stems
an evil
are
apple?
not. Maybe.
Don't take a bite. No, the leaf really looks like a
It
turkey
does.
to me.
Yeah, I should put some eyes on there.
Yes, or actually like a rocker, because it might, you could pull it off as like a mohawk, so it's
Oh yeah, yeah.
really make it
Right.
a rad apple.
Mm. I can't believe someone's throwing this out. So
I can't believe, but I know that where it came from, I agree. It's got to be a trove of treasures in there.
yeah, exactly.
We could probably have an
So,
estate sale in 2 years.
I can't wait.
It's going to be magical.
So, one last thing.
Sure.
What is your big brag? Like, what's your success story? Why are you a great teacher?
I really do love the children.
Yeah.
And I'm always excited for the end of the year. Like, I'm already, like, my class will tell you now, like, I'm talking about it. Your first grade's a big deal.
We got 58 days left, by the way.
Yeah. Well, I'm talking about, yes.
Yeah, you're talking about 26?
But I'm saying, like, to these kids, like, you guys are going to be first graders. It's so exciting. And it's sad for me, but I love when I go in to visit them, or if I see them in the hallway and I just see them doing great. Like, it makes me so happy. Or if I hear my former students doing the pledge.
Oh, yeah.
I'm
That's
like,
cool.
and or even my students this year, like, because a lot of the kids come to me and
Yeah.
their language is very minimal, and I'm like, look at you, you're doing it.
Yeah.
It's just, I'm sad to see them leave, but I'm excited when I see them out the following year and I see them doing great and they have confidence and they're.
Yeah.
And I love hearing from their new teachers, like, they're so-and-so's doing so great, he's so social, or it's good.
That's great.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, thanks for popping on the podcast.
Thanks for having
And
me.
do you like apples or do you hate them?
I mean, I'm a teacher, I must hate them.
Exactly. Thank you. So
Yep. Yeah, teachers hate apples, it's true.
we do. No, spread the word.
Yeah,
So,
no, we take
so,
cash.
Yeah. Cash is way better.
Yeah,
Cash is king.
Cash or coffee.
Yeah, exactly. Thanks for joining us, and keep hitting those apples out there.
Thanks for having me.
Bye.
Bye.
That was another episode of Teachers Hate Apples. If you liked the episode, share it with all your teacher friends. If you didn't like the episode, share it with all your teacher friends. Like, subscribe, share. Thank you so much.